Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So we did this face mask the other day, and now I'm going to do a smaller version of it. And I'm also going to be doing a little tiny one for boys too. The large one is just going to be a hook size up, and same goes with this. It's just a hook size down from this one that I did. It's just a hook size down. So in this video I'm going to be using a number 4, and I used a 5 for this big one, and then for the hook I used a 3.5, but for the bow I used a 3.5 hook, but for this tiny little bow I'm using a 2.5 hook. So for my last Hello Kitty, I used 2 pieces of yarn. This one I'm using just the 1 piece of yarn. So let's get everything out of the way so my camera doesn't try to focus on it. So you just want to do a slip knot with your number 4. And you're going to chain 19. You're going to single crochet 17 back up, and you should have 1 stitch left when you get back up. So when you get back up at the top and you have that 1 stitch left, you're going to put 3 single crochets into that same space. And you're going to pull your slip knot tight. Turn your work. Now make sure your slip knot is as tight as you can get it, and then try to single crochet it in with everything else. So starting in the very stitch right next to this knot, that's where you're going. And you're going back up for 14, well, for 15 stitches really. The marker will be in the 15th one. So put your number 15 in there. and put your stitch marker on that. So that's just going to help us remember where the start is. So in this next stitch was, it's a twisted elongated stitch, so it is hard to see that you even have a stitch there, but you do. So try to get under those two pieces of yarn and put in 2 single crochets. Into the same space, and then the very next elongated stitch, do the same thing, 2 single crochets, just like that. So if it doesn't look like a rib cage, you've done something wrong. Now we're going to single crochet back up for 15. Making sure you're going, I'm trying to go into the stitches already being used. And 15. So in the next 4 stitches, you're going to put 2 single crochets each. Funny stitch to get into right there. It does get better as we go. Now you're going to single crochet back up for 14. Back to your marker. Take out your stitch marker. Now, sort of talking with a marker in my mouth. So now coming back around here, we're going to do another increase, and this increase is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 4 times, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2. We're going to do that 4 times all the way around. You should come back right across to the other side. So I'm going to put in my 1 single crochet and my stitch marker. So the next stitch gets 2 single crochets. Oops. The next stitch gets 1 single crochet. The next stitch gets 2. The next stitch gets 1. The next stitch gets 2. And our last one, that gets 1. And that gets 2. So now you're going to crochet 5 times, 5 stitches. The next 2 stitches are going to be 2 half double crochets in each stitch. So yarn over, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull some through. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, and go through all 3 of those all at the same time. So I'm going to do 2 in each of the next 2 stitches. And then you're going to single crochet 5. Oh, and I guess I did change some numbers in this smaller pattern. I had to change some numbers. It was just a couple of them, so I guess this pattern isn't exactly the same as the bigger one, but it's really, really close. So now we're over here, so we're going to do the same thing as we just did over here with our increase. We're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 times around. So 1 single crochet, next stitch 2 single crochets. One single crochet, 2 single crochets. Now here is where your chin is going to go. So we just made our little nose piece right there. This is going to be our little chin piece. And actually for the bear, I used it to act as a mouth too. So that's the double crochet there. So we're going to now double crochet back up to our marker, which should be 14. So yarn over, go into your stitch, grab some yarn, come through 2 stitches, grab some more yarn, come through the last 2 stitches. So we're just going to double crochet all the way back up to our marker. And if you don't have a marker, you can use a bobby pin, you can use a barrette, you can use a piece of yarn, you can use a, what do you call those that hold papers together? Paper clip. You use all kinds of things, but these are dirt cheap. You can find them on Amazon, you can find them at Walmart, you can find them, actually you can find these anywhere, Fabricland. And I think I got these at Walmart for like $3, and I got like a crap ton of them for $3. Different sizes, different colors for $3, so, or $4 or whatever it was at Walmart. It was pretty dirt cheap. So But in the meantime, if you don't have one for the video, you can just, I guess I should have told you earlier. Not so imperative for you, I guess, right now, since I'm telling you the numbers, but okay, I gotta cut this off. It is driving me bonkers. I had crocheted that in when I had done down there, so it's not going to come out, or I would have weaved it in, but I had crocheted it in, so it's just driving me insane. I'm getting there. You're gonna have to wait for me because wow, I'm struggling. So that's 14 stitches, and under our 15th stitch where our marker is, you can put another one. Another double crochet, put your marker back, and then our increase for this end will be 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 times. So 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2, and again you should come back around to here, which is right directly across. So on our first stitch, go 1 single crochet, next stitch is 1 single crochet, the next stitch is 2 single crochet, and we start again. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and one more time, 1 single crochet, one single crochet, and 2 single crochets. I know you're probably waiting for me. So we did that 3 times. So now you're going to single crochet 18 back over here. And we're going to do the same thing we did over here. 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 times. And now there should be 15 single crochets back up to the marker. And our stitch marker is 15. And we put that back. So now we're going to single crochet around the whole entire project, one in each hole. So you should have 57 at your marker. Well, I guess I should have told you that before for those who aren't using a marker. 57 stitches. Stick your marker back in. So this is where we're gonna, we're coming to the end because all we're doing is making our earpieces, our ears for the cat, another earpiece, and then we finish. So nice and quick. So single crochet 5. You're going to chain 15. Skip 3, and in the 4th one you can slip stitch and then you're going to put 2 single crochets into the next 2, not each, 1 in each. 1, 2. If you don't find that this is big enough, you can make it bigger. Okay, so now we're going to start the ear. So do a single crochet and a half double crochet in the first stitch. Nope, cannot get out without not taking the straggler. In the next stitch, you're going to put a double crochet. You're going to put a triple crochet. Actually, that's 2 times around. So, people confuse this with treble. This is not a treble crochet. It is a triple crochet. Treble crochet is only a UK term for a double crochet. So we're going to put a triple crochet into the same space that you just put your double. You're going to chain 1, and then you're going to picot, which means you're going to come down and snag those 2 pieces of yarn that's holding the double and the triple together, and it's going to make a point to slip stitch, and that's going to give the point to your ear. Now do another triple into the same space, and do a double into the same space. It's getting pretty tight. So in the next stitch, you may have to pull that aside to find it. You're going to put a half double. So squish your work down if you have to manipulate it that way. I have very bad yarn I'm trying to work with, so bear with me. And then in that same space, you just put the half double, put a single, and that's your ear. So this is where I changed the numbers from the big one that we did. If you did the big one with me, in between the ears, I think I had 18 for the big one, but for the small one we're going to put 15. And then we're going to start our other ear. So we're going to go single crochet into this stitch and a half double into the same space. And I picked up some more crap. Sorry, bear with me guys. We're just about done. This white sucks so bad. And then we're going to put a double. And then we're going to do a triple, same hole, good, chain 1, and you're going to come and grab those 2 pieces of yarn. So that belongs to the double, that belongs to the triple, and you're going to slip stitch those 2 together, creating a point for your ear. And you're going to do another triple, put it back down into that same space, and then a double into that same space, getting pretty tight. And then that next stitch, which is hard to find, you're going to put a half double. And then a single in that same space. Alright, so that's our other ear. And I'm going to single crochet 2. And I'm going to chain 15. I'm going to skip 3 and go into the 4th one. And I'm going to slip stitch that on there. Pull that tight. And then I'm going to single crochet back up to my marker. Take your marker out now. So where your marker was, you're just going to do a slip stitch and you're going to fasten off. Turn it around. Come through the next stitch. You're going to grab him and pull him through to the back. And this is, you're just gonna weave him in. You want to just pull just enough to get that knot to come down, and then once you stretch it out, it just kind of looks like there's a stitch there. Weaved in multiple directions in case it decides it's going to try to come undone. It's got to go in multiple directions to do so. So now that we've got the base, we can put a face on this guy. This is Hello Kitty, so Hello Kitty tends to have just big round black eyes. This one I did a little bit differently. I kind of put slanted eyes, and I like the look of that, so I think I'm just going to do that again. And this is small, so you don't have to put a whole lot. And I'm just going to tie it at the back in a really, really tight knot. So trying to make it even is what is the hard part. So I got my little piece of yellow here because you don't, I mean, it's just a tiny little nose. that we're going to put on this. You need some really good scissors for this. So far, now this is the worst part, is the whiskers. So, if you look at a picture of Hello Kitty, the whiskers are coming off literally the side of its face. But we're not going to go to that extreme, but we are going to go way over here. For the most part, you can't really feel much of that, so their face isn't going to feel much of that. So, I'll come over to the other side now. Yeah, see, that's not bad. You can't really feel much. So let's get to our bow, and then we can get to this guy because he's super cute. So I'm going to be using a tiny needle for this one. I'm going to be using a 2.5. I used a 3.5 for this guy. Or sorry, I used a 2.5 for this guy. Let me get my big one. I used 3.5 for this guy. So I'm going to use a 2.5, and that's the size that you're going to get, which I think is a good size. I don't think it's horrible. So the bow is really quick and really easy, and half the size of that other one is 6 rows that we did, and this one's only going to be 3 rows. So you just want to make a slip knot with your tiny wee needle. I didn't know how I was going to fare with such a small needle, but I didn't do too bad. So you're going to chain 11. So you're going to starting in the first stitch that you can get your hook into. You're going to single crochet back up for 10. And if you're faster than me, when you get to 10, you can chain 1, and then you can single crochet across 10, chain 1, turn your work. You can do this for 3 rows, and then I guess you're gonna have to wait for me. I'm not good with small things and fat fingers. So do move a little bit slower. So I'm at 10. I'm finally there. And I'm just going to pull my slip stitch shut. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to single crochet. Make sure you're getting this very first hole. That's how you're going to keep your work straight, is making sure that you hit that first hole and the last hole. Last row. All right, that's 3 rows. Take one, that's enough. So, I'm gonna just cut this off so it doesn't wreck the look of my bow once I get it together. So, we're just gonna hide these ends. So, take another piece of yarn. You're gonna fold this in half. And you're just gonna wind that, preferably in the middle. It's up to you how many times you wind it. I'm just gonna wind it until I've got enough to tie a knot. And then I'm just gonna make a knot. Really tight knot. Cut that off. There's your wee little tiny bow. So find the spot you want it in. Don't try to come up or down through the middle. It's going to be too difficult. Snip it off. And there you have it, a little child's infant mask. So, let's get into making this guy. So there is a size difference here, but that's only because the size of my yarn is different. So it's easy to change the sizes from whatever size you want, yarn size, hook size, stuff like that. So we'll set him aside and we'll get started on this guy. So in this one you're going to learn how to crochet with different colored pieces of yarn at the same time. So if you don't know how to do that already, you're going to learn in this video. So make a slip knot. Chain 19. Alright, so you're going to single crochet back up for 17. All right, now you get to this last stitch and you're going to put 3 single crochets into that last stitch. So pull that tight. Try to crochet your end in here. So right next to your slip, we just put 3 in here. As your slip knot, there should be a stitch right beside it. So you're going to single crochet in there, and you're going to single crochet 14 more back up. So number 15 is going to be where your marker is going to go. And one more for 15. And this is where your marker goes. So again, if it doesn't look like a rib cage, and by that I mean your stitches should be stacked on top of each other. So if it doesn't look like that, you've done something wrong, and you'll have to go back and figure out what you've done wrong. But moving on. So our oddball stitches here, there are 2 of them. One of them are off to the side like here, and it's an elongated one. You're going to put 2 single crochets into that oddball. And then you've got another oddball elongated stitch right here. So you're going to put 2 single crochets into that one. And then you're going to single crochet back up for 15. So up here, we're going to put 2 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. So 2 in each of the next 4 stitches. And you're going to single crochet back up 14 to get to your marker, which is 15. and the stitch marker makes 15. So our increase for this is now going to be 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. So we're going to come all the way literally around. So we're going to do 1 and 2. We're going to do that 4 times. You've just put your first one in, so your next stitch is going to be 2 in the same single crochets in the same stitch. Then you do 1 single crochet. The next stitch you're going to do 2 single crochets. The next stitch you're going to do 1 single crochet. The next stitch you're going to do 2, and you're going to do that one more time. 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. So now you're going to single crochet 5. You're going to put in your nose piece now, so this is where you're going to put in your 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches, so 2 in each. And now you're gonna put 5 single crochets down the other side. And you are going to do what you just did on the other side. You're going to do 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets 4 times around. And 2 in this space. That's what it should look like right now. So this is where we're going to switch colors. So I have my white, handy pandy. So I might do this a little differently than others, but I'm just going to hold my color on like that. I'm going to bring it through my loop. I'm going to pull the blue tight. So now you want to hold the blue and your off-white tails at the same time that you're crocheting, because you're going to carry that all along to the other side where you're going to switch back to blue, so you need to take the blue with you. We're going to double crochet for 14 back up to our marker, and we're going to do it over the tails and everything. So it's going to be awkward until you get used to it. And these are double crochets. We are making this part right here. Now 14 is your last stitch. We're going to move the stitch marker. Oh my good lord. And we're going to put the colored yarn in there as well. I still got my blue with me. And now we're going to switch back to blue. So just drop your white. You're going to want to probably weave that in too along with your work. So now that we're back up here where the stitch marker, oh by the way, let's put that back. So we are going to start our other increase, which is going to be 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. We're only going 3 times around. So because this is awkward, I'm going to pull this blue through here. Then I'm going to go into my stitch, holding my tail, because I want to crochet that tail into that with the stitch. So that's 1. Oops. 1. And then this one gets 2. This one gets 1. This one gets 1. This one gets 2. This one gets 1. This one gets 1. And this one gets 2. So you can either keep bringing your white along, or you can cut it off and then reattach it later. But I think I'm just going to bring my white along. So you're just going to single crochet for the next 18 stitches. Alright, so I've literally weaved this piece of white all the way around. I don't think it's going to come out, so I'm going to cut it off as low as I can. So now we're just back to the blue. You didn't have to do that. You could have cut it off way before. Like I said, you didn't have to. I just extra security, you know. Pretty anal about stuff like that. So now that we're back around here, we're going to do the same increase. We're going to go 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 for 3 times. And you're going to crochet 17 back up to the marker. Put your stitch marker back in. Single crochet 5. Here we're going to chain 18. We did 15 for the other one. This one is a boys, so we're going to chain 18. We're going to skip 3 and go into the 4th one, and we're going to slip stitch. We're going to stitch crochet single crochet 2. So these ears are rounded off, so they're not the same as the other ears we did for the cat. We are going to change colors. So again, you're going to want to do your stitches, and you're going to want to carry your 2 colors with you. So in the first stitch, you're going to single crochet, then you're going to double crochet, or half double crochet, excuse me, half double crochet, if I can get that through there. Hello. In the next stitch is going to be a double crochet and a triple crochet, and in the next stitch is going to be a triple crochet, and a double crochet in the same space, and then the next stitch is going to be a half double and a single. So there's no point, it's rounded, very rounded off. These stragglers popping up, that drives me crazy. There, so it's a very rounded ear. So taking our blue up again and grabbing our white pieces, just come through there with your blue, and then you're going to single crochet carrying your white, now I think I've changed this number because it wasn't working out. My ears weren't even, so I did 12 single crochets, so that's 1, So that's 12. And I'm going to go back to the white. And in this stitch I'm going to go single crochet, a half double crochet, that same space, and we're just trying to carry that blue behind me because I'm going to go back to it. In the next stitch you're going to go double crochet, and you're going to do a triple, same space, in the next stitch you're going to do a triple, and then you're going to do a double in that same space. Then, and what is going on with my white? And then in your final stitch for the ears, you're going to do a half double, and a single. And that's ear number 2. And they should be pretty even, I hope. So now we're going to go back to the blue and drop the white. So just bring your piece through there, pull everything tight. And I'm going to carry the white for a little bit just to weave it in. So I'm going to single crochet 3, so hopefully I'm even with the other side. So if your ears aren't even, then these are not going to be even, but I think the ears are pretty even. So I'm going to chain 18. I'm going to skip 3 spaces and I'm going to put it in the 4th chain, 4th stitch with a slip stitch. Put in a single crochet here to hold everything together while you snip off your white. You are now done with it. You don't need that anymore. And all that's left is single crochet back up to your marker, and we can fasten off. I'm going to take my marker out now. I know I got 2 stitches left. One of them is going to be a single crochet and the other one is going to be a slip stitch. and then fasten off. Same thing as the other ones. We're gonna take our little piece of yarn and we're gonna pull it through. So now we can put a face on him. This is, again, this is all you. But that's the face I put on mine. Is either kind of closed or smiling. And then I did a really bad nose with a really bad, whatever that's called. So maybe this time around it'll work out. Yeah, sure. I did 2 pieces of yarn here, but I don't think that's necessary. Oh, that's pretty close. I got lucky. There. What's that look like? That's pretty neat. It didn't turn out too bad, actually. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you like these. I'll see you in the next video.